And we are live. Hello, everybody. We are live to all platforms. Let's close out of these. All right, guys. So here we have Director's Take, Call, and Response as of January 22nd after the mid-season patch. So, currently, I just made a YouTube video talking about the state of Overwatch, basically how I'm concerned for the future of Overwatch, and this actually addresses, it doesn't properly fix the problems that I'm talking about, but it addresses a lot of the points. So we're going to go over this, and we're going to talk about, if we're going in the right direction, if this is good. This is from Aaron Keller himself. We're going to see what Aaron Keller has to say about all of the complaints that Overwatch has been having recently. Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. It is the first Director's Take of 2026, and we can't wait to show you everything that's coming this year, starting with next season. Expect more on that soon. For this blog, though, I'd like to go over a few items from Season 20. In addition to the release of our newest gladiatorial hero, Vendetta, this season also saw the release of a new winter event, a new challenger system that replaced our top 500 leaderboards, and a new aim assist system on console. There's been quite a bit of discussion and feedback over each of these, and that's what I'd like to go over today. Good, because they are a terrible change, so hopefully we can see these getting reverted, which isn't the case you'll find soon. Challenge accepted. Let's start with the challenger system. Yes, let's please start with the challenger system. Previously, the top 500 leaderboards acted as a list of the highest skilled players by rank, which is your rank is by definition the measure of your skill. So that's how it should be. Over the past few years, there has been frequent community feedback about top 500, so we looked into to design a new system. Why? Where's the community what community? Because it wasn't the top 500 community. It definitely wasn't the people in it. And I don't think it was the people who were trying to get it. I think it might be people who could never get top 500 and were coping about the fact that there are a lot of alt accounts at top 500, which, by the way, can be mitigated with a decay system, which we already had in the game previously. But let's see what Aaron has to say. So we looked to design a new system. This system would show the best and most committed players in a region. So this is where they messed up, is they added most committed in a region while limiting leaderboard camping, which we all know has been a pain point for the Overwatch community. Has it? Really? Like, really? Do we think it's been that big of a pain point? I don't know, but sure. Which, by the way, decay fixes. Anyway, the challenger system tracks a challenger score for any player in diamond rank and above. As you win matches, you accumulate more points, and those with the highest challenger scores go to leaderboards. Higher rank players earn more points for every win. However, we saw several problems with the system on release. Our initial tuning didn't take a player's rank into account enough and rewarded playtime too heavily. Guys, oh my gosh. Okay, Blizzard, hire me. Hire me, please, okay? It doesn't take that much to figure out what this system's going to look like before it goes into place. I made a spreadsheet dealing with this exact issue. I calculated exactly what the points were going to be in regards to playtime. I calculated exactly what it was going to look like before it happened. Let's look at this. Again, so how am I going to center this for screen? Let's just move this over. Okay. Here we have my spreadsheet where you can literally, there's a link to it in one of my other YouTube videos. I'll link it to the bottom of this one too. I made a spreadsheet where you can calculate what your challenger score is going to be and how to get there. I was able to compare Diamond 5 and Champion 5 players to see exactly what this is going to be, and that there would in fact be Diamond players in top 500. I calculated this before it went live. So how do you guys make this mistake? If a simple spreadsheet can solve the issue, like, did we not think of the math behind it? Right? So I don't want to be too hostile because I love you guys at Blizzard. I think you guys are doing a great job with a lot of the changes that you've made so far to this game, because obviously I'm still playing, but, you know, this is something that's really easy to check before time. Giving every player a match, or giving every player in a match a score based on the highest rated player in that match limited our ability to tune the system. Yeah, I could have told you that. Because of a cross-play bug, many Diamond players were able to place much higher on the leaderboards than we intended. Really? A cross-play bug? Diamond players achieved higher on because of a cross-play bug? Guys, let's go check the leaderboard right now, shall we? Well, here's a great example. Let's just look at DPS. We have Silvok at GM3. He was GM4 yesterday. But I'll put this over here, something like that. Yeah, we have you can't see it. Okay, good enough. GM3, we have Silvok above all these champ players. And then I don't have to scroll very far. I mean, here's Masters 1 above champ players. Masters 2. Let's see. How far until a diamond? And this is for DPS, which is typically more competitive than the other leaderboards because it's easier to climb on DPS if you're good. Here we go. 212. Diamond. So are you telling me these are all crossplay players? These Diamond and Masters players? There's another one. Is this the Sunshine that we're... That's hilarious. That's funny. I know she's not a crossplay player. If that's actually her account. I think this is. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Season 4 GM. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep, that's Sunshine. Yep. Okay. Anyway, no flame. No flame at all. But, yeah, we look at tank. I mean, we have a very similar issue. We got lots of diamonds in... Or a lot more, at least. But, anyway... Point being, I don't think they're all crossplay players. I don't think it's a bug. I think it's a feature. I think you made the system to allow Diamond players in top 500. So anyway, the tuning heat bonus is too hidden from players. Yes, it is. Players that felt, even though, you know, I knew about this and everything, but yeah, you can't see like how much the heat bonus is. That's an easy visual thing that they could change, but again, that doesn't matter. Players that felt that the top 500 leaderboards had more prestige as a name than the Challenger leaderboard did. Yeah, well, no, honestly, if you did nothing but change the name to Challenger, it would have been the same amount of prestigious because everybody knows that Challenger means top 500, kind of like One Above All in Marvel Rivals. One Above All is very prestigious in Marvel Rivals, not because it's different from top 500, but because it's a top 500 leaderboard, which means the top 500 highest ranked players in the region. Also, there are a bunch of other reasons why top 500 isn't as prestigious as it could be, but we'll go into that a little bit later. We've since fixed a bug that we've since fixed that bug, and Diamond players are now dropping down on leaderboard. Diamond players are now dropping down on leaderboards. Yeah, they're dropping. Sure. I'm not doing viewer pods today. Sorry about that. I need to change the title on Twitch. That is my fault. We still want to do I skipped something. They're not dropping. In addition, we're doing a big tuning pass next season to favor your rank more than the system currently does. Again, it won't matter. It'll still be messy. Our goal is for the leaderboards to be more directly organized by rank next season, with extremely committed players still sometimes able to outscore those that haven't played as much. We still want top 500 to feel like a race, but we've heard your feedback, and we'd like rank to count a lot more than it did this season. Okay. I mean... You're still going to have, when you look at the top 500 system, you're still going to see champion or you're going to see different divisions of champion. You're going to see a champion 4 higher than a champion 2. So when you go, I don't know about you guys, but when I looked at the top 500 leaderboard, I look at it to see, okay, at what rank is around 100, right? Or how many champion players are there in the game in my role currently? How many players have reached champion? Well, I couldn't tell you because it's so messy, right? And you have to count each individual champion player. Where before, I could just go back to... give me 1 second. Before, I could just go back to, let's change this, season 19. Here we have all the champion tank players. If I go back to here, I know that there are 184 champion tank players, period. Actually, not period, because there's this. By the way, there is still this bug that shows players twice on the leaderboard. And this is so bad because this will happen after a season. So you can actually get kicked out of top 500 because of false duplicates on the leaderboard. Here it is again. Same player. I've had this happen where they actually take away my rewards. So I've had it multiple times where I've gotten top 500 rewards and then they take them away even though I still have them enabled, right? I think this may have happened last season. I ended top 500, but it doesn't show that anymore. It doesn't show that I ended the season top 500, and that's because of these bullcrap duplicates. So you want to say that rank camping and smurfing is a problem on top 500. How about you fix this duplicate problem where you see the same player twice take up 2 slots in top 500? That's top 250, not top 500. That's ridiculous. So, again, we're avoiding the issue and still trying to make this weird system work just because we don't want to admit that we're wrong. And it's like, it's fine. It's hard to admit you're wrong. But, can we just keep it the same or at least revert back to what we had? It was so good. Nobody asked for this, Anyway, this is my rant. And it'll still feel like a race. You don't need this heat system. You don't need this point system. It's so dumb. A goal for next season is for the top of the leaderboards to be exclusively champion players, and there are a few details to go over here. Champion players have longer queue times than players of other ranks. Yes, again, I said this before this system came out. Since playtime, we still have some effect on a player's total score. We're factoring those longer queue times into the challenger score that champion players get for winning. Also, the number of points awarded for a win increases as the season goes on because of the heat bonus. Matches later in the season are more important for a player's final score than those in the early season. Currently, this mechanic is too hidden, and we're exploring better ways to highlight it. Finally, we agree that the moniker of Top 500 does have a certain amount of prestige to it. The system will keep the challenger name, but will rename the leaderboards to Top 500. So I'm going to go over this quickly. But the reason Top 500 is not as prestigious as it used to be is because Top 500 is not Top 500. So, what do I mean? Marvel Rivals One Above All is, first of all, since the game is an open queue, you don't have different roles, right? So you can't be Top 500 in tank, Top 500 in support, and in DPS all at the same time. You don't have different leaderboards. It's all the same. It's all one, right? So right off the bat, because we have 3 different leaderboards for top 500, and look at this now, we have 5 different top 500 leaderboards, and even combined is not representative of a top 500 leaderboard because you have to be ranked on all 3 characters, which means you go down to Masters, and that's not impressive. Let me move this over. Give me 1 second. Sorry, it's scuffed. Need to do that every time I switch back. Okay. So being top 500 combined is not impressive because you just have to play 25 games, or you had to play 25 games on each role. But the thing is, top 500, because there are 3 separate leaderboards, is more like top 1500 because 500 times 3 is 1500. So these are the top 1500 players. In addition, you have different regions. You have America, you have Europe, and you have Asia. So from a world perspective, being top 500 really means top 4,500 because it's top 1,500 because of 3 roles, and then it's top 4,500 because of 3 regions, right? One Above All in Marvel Rivals is top 500 in the world. So if you are One Above All in Marvel Rivals, there are only 500 players in the world that have that title. So One Above All is much more prestigious than Overwatch's top 500, and that's why it's lost that. It's not because of the name being Challenger instead of top 500. It's because it is way more accessible than it should be. and it's less impressive. And the difference between rank 1 and rank 491 is equivalent to the difference between I would go to say a Masters player from a Silver player. And it's not good, you know? It's totally, you know, you pit these players against each other and they're an entire league above. This player down here at the bottom of top 500 tank will never see a professional play. They may not have played professional. They may not have even scrimmed, where the person at the top is obviously a professional player. You know, it's just a completely different league. So it's not prestigious because we've made it not prestigious, not because of the challenger name. All right, so this is a big problem. Recalibrating aim. Let's move on to the new aim assist system on console. Over time, we've seen a lot of positive impressions, but there have been negative impressions. When the system is first implemented, it changed the feel of the game for many players. There's no way for you to go back to the previous system if you preferred that one. There's a perception that this update has shifted the meta in unhealthy ways for console. Wow, it's shifted the meta? That sucks. Let's get this out of the way first. We introduced the system incorrectly. As a game director, my top priority is to protect the player experience, and changing the feel of aiming, the most important control in the game, isn't protecting that experience. We've had a lot of discussion about this internally, and we still like this new system, but if we could go back in time, we would have rolled it out a lot differently. Since we can't go back in time, here's what we're doing instead. We've already reverted some of the changes that modified players' default aim settings. In the discussions we're tracking, we see that many players now prefer the new system, but there are still quite a few that miss the old one. This is a matter of personal preference, and aim feel is incredibly important to the experience. So next season, we're implementing the ability for you to optionally select this. Good. That's good. That's just a net positive. That's great. Good for console players. Good job complaining. You guys got what you wanted. Awesome. Cookie economics. Let's chat about the winter event. We implemented a new system where players earn cookies through challenges and exchange 2 main pieces of feedback. Many of you thought that the only way to earn cookies was through the event modes. Those of you who realized you could earn cookies through challenges thought we tied too many of the rewards directly to the event modes. Yep. You could earn most of your festive through standard daily challenges, but this wasn't steadily apparent as looking at the winter event. Make sure to better... Well, okay. Yeah, sure, you could earn most of your festive rewards through standard daily challenges, but you have to come back every day, you know? And you could get the majority of them in those winter events, which are just boring and unfun. Open Q&U, here we go. Last up, OpenQ and 6v6. In a recent live stream, I made a remark that caused some of the community to think that we're intentionally withholding support from these queues. This isn't true. OpenQ is the second most popular way to play Overwatch, and we're currently talking about what it would look like to put more support into these modes this year. However, before we can move in any particular direction, it's important to analyze why players are interacting with these queues. This mode is OpenQ and it's 6v6. We've had OpenQ in the game for some time, but 6v6 became its standard team size in 6v6 became its standard team size in early 2025. Oh yeah. And a year later, this mode is roughly as popular now as it was before the change to 6v6 was made. What? A year later, this mode is roughly as popular now as it was Really? The easiest example to illustrate why this is a tricky situation to solve is that some open queue players jump in for fast queue times while some 6v6 players are looking for more balanced team compositions. Implementing features for either one could hurt the other. While we don't have a lot of concrete evidence to support either of these directions at the moment, we'll be collecting data and experimenting to find the best solution in the near future. 2026 is going to be a massive year for Overwatch. The team is so excited. This is what they say every time. So excited to share all the huge things that we have planned to make this year truly a memorable one. Thanks for giving your feedback as always. Let's make a great game. I agree. Let's make a great game. But what is this about OpenQ and it's 6v6? We've had OpenQ in the game for some time, but 6v6 became the standard team size in 2025. A year later, this mode is roughly as popular now as it was before the change to 6v6 was made. Is that true? Why this is a tricky situation to solve is that some OpenQ players jump in for fast queue times. What? That doesn't make sense. While some 6v6 players are looking for more balanced team compositions. What do you mean? Some open queue players jump in for fast queue times. but open queue is not fast. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Abyss, I know open queue is originally 5v5. I get that. I'm asking, what is this logic? No one jumps into open queue for fast queue times. It's slower. If you're playing open queue, you're waiting about 10 to 20 minutes every time. So the reason people aren't playing as much is because the queue times are 20 minutes for poor quality matches. Because not as many people play, people are inflated, and the modes are split. It's faster. It is faster generally compared to role queue since they just slap people together. That is objectively false. That is objectively false. Because now I don't know how it is for lower ranks, and you could be right for lower ranks. I don't think so, though. Because I mean, overall, they said it was the second most played role. Meaning, inherently, the queue times are going to be less. Sure, the matches are a little bit wider, but the matches are wider not because the matchmaker is looser, but because it has to, well, it is looser. It has to be because the queues are longer, right? Yeah, no, if I queue for open queue, I'm waiting for 20 minutes. Even on my lower GM4 account, I'm waiting for 20 minutes. So, I don't know. Try Diamond Queue? I mean, yeah, but... well, Diamond Queue is going to be faster than queuing GM and Roll Queue, but if I'm queuing Diamond and Roll Queue versus Diamond and Open Queue, I'm finding a game faster in Diamond in Open Queue. In Roll Queue. So this makes no sense. No one plays Open Queue because it's a faster queue time. Some 66 players are looking for a more balanced... Oh, some 66... Oh! Okay, wait, is this saying the opposite? The easiest example to illustrate what this is tricky is it's saying some open queue players just want faster queues, but some 6v6 players are looking for more balanced team compositions. And they're saying that open queue right now is conflicting with both of those. I would hope that's what they're saying, because the queue times are extremely slow and the team comps are not balanced at all. I don't know. Right now, open queue is in a terrible state. And if it stays the way it is, you know, I think open queue is their way back into relevancy into this game. But, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We're going to stop this recording, and we'll make that into a YouTube video, maybe clip it up a little bit. Okay. Sorry I haven't been reading chat that much. I wanted to get that through. How are y'all doing? Also, I got some interesting TikTok comments here. Kingsman situation got more relevancy in a couple days than Overwatch has gotten in 5+ years. Well, the Kingsman situation is getting more relevancy than any video game on the planet right now, because the Kingsman situation is insane, by the way. We could talk about this real quick. I don't have all the clips and stuff, and I really don't want to go searching for it. But basically, if you guys didn't hear about the Kingsman situation by now, which that's insane if you haven't, you know what? Let's screw it. Let's find it. Let's just look at another. Let's react Andy to another guy who's already covered it. And funny enough, Moist Critical covered it too. Moist Critical covering Marvel Rivals. That is insane.
I haven't heard of video.
Let's see. Let's make this smaller so it's easier to see. And then we'll put this back on. Twitch promo. Do this. Perfect. Cool. All right.
Video game drama this big since the whole Dream Minecraft speedrunning saga. What's happening with the Marvel Rivals $40,000 tournament situation is pretty bizarre. In a nutshell, there was a Marvel Rivals tournament with a $40,000 prize purse. There was a player by the name of Kingsman who really wanted to take this seriously, making a mention that this money would be very helpful to him as a college student. And the rest of the team didn't seem to take it all that seriously. And eventually, when Kingsman was trying to, make changes to the team comp so they could better stand a chance at winning, they all attacked him, and eventually it led to him getting kicked from the tournament. His team then went on to place second to last in the tournament.
Here's the clip. Terrible quality.
Okay, guys. Pace and point.
18-2, 0-5. Okay, now for a little bit of context, I think this is actually a scrim. So I don't think that this is actually, because I was watching Flats' video where he does a lot more in depth. Now he did a 5-hour VOD and posted the video to YouTube. Insane. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care about that much context. But the point is, Zaza Stack and then some other girl on the team were piggybacking and saying that Zaza's just gonna pick Widow. They don't care. And they're trying to delude him into thinking that she's carrying the game.
You understand?
No, well, you've been making me play shit. Of course I'm gonna play.
How do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of all, it's that ass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, bro.
You're doing too much.
Lucy's not even on Invis. Second of all, you're getting value because
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm getting value because I'm 1v6ing.
Hulk isn't peeling for you, bro. Yes, Zaza is 0-5.
He's not console anymore. He is PC, but he was the #1 console Magic.
That means 44 of their
And then he swapped to PC.
Are all spent on Zaza.
I saw this a couple days ago, and I was so confused why anyone would be joining a tournament if they didn't actually care about winning at all. So he is very clearly trying his best to help the team.
I'm going to put this in here real quick, too, in case you haven't seen Flats' video, which I highly recommend. But it's too long, and I'm not going to cover in this video. In Flats' video, Flats mentioned that he was invited to the creator tournament. So mind you, this tournament is a creator tournament. It's not a competitive esports event. However, at the beginning of the tournament, when Flats was invited, there was no money added. There was no prize pool yet. Right? So it did not start out with a $40,000 prize pool. So I don't know when everyone accepted. I don't know if those players were offered or were told that it was $40,000 when they initially signed up for it. Like, I don't know if Zaza Stack and whatever, like the people who wanted to play more casually, they could have gone in thinking that it wasn't for 40K. But in this video before this clip, he blatantly says it's a tournament for $40,000. I'd like to win this for college. And he says that beforehand. So there's no doubt that they went into this knowing that they were sandbagging $40,000 for their team for that. How out of touch of reality people don't want to win money. I know, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, you're right. At the time of this clip, they all knew that it was worth $40,000. Now, here's the thing. Let's imagine a world where there's no money at all in that tournament. If he's sweating his balls off trying to win a tournament with no prize pool that is just purely for the sake of showing off Deadpool, the creators playing together, having fun, doing goofy stuff, that would be just fine. Them playing their mains, showcasing it, whatever, no big deal, right? But then NetEase later on attached $40,000, may have, I don't know if that's true, but apparently NetEase has a history of adding the money to tournaments that are already a big deal to promote them. Well, that changes the game, right? Now there's money on the line and people want to win. And there are smaller creators that this money would be a huge help to that want to win the freaking tournament, right? And it's ridiculous to not want to win a $40,000 tournament. And if you are and like take the money out of the situation too. If you're playing on a team, like why directly sandbag your teammate? That's not like why? The competitive game, you don't come into a competitive game with the vibes. Well, if there's literally nothing on the line, then there's no reason to be competitive. If the pure goal is to show off Deadpool, because they're not even competing for ranks if there's no money there, right? So who cares, right? Like you don't go into. There's a reason everybody gets mad at quick play warriors that try to be super competitive. It's because there's nothing on the line. There's nothing you're losing by losing. We're just practicing having fun, playing whatever character that we want to, whatever, right? Same thing with a creator tournament that doesn't have money or ranks on the line. Who cares? But if there's $40,000 in the line, this is insane. So, yeah.
Win. And they were talking about like how toxic and annoying and insufferable he was, things like that, which eventually led to him getting kicked and being like disrespectful, that kind of thing. From all the clips I've seen,
my bad.
He never made any like personal attacks against anyone. He was never even like overbearing or like yelling and screaming. The closest he came was in this clip here where he's like, do you understand, like, case in point, we should make a switch. This isn't working. Our Widow is 0-5-0, which is a very fair point and a good suggestion because it clearly wasn't working. They may have won the point, but I think it's
I'm not going to say he was the most respectful, of course, but who would be? He was way more respectful than I would have been. I would have been irritated.
Put the team on his fucking back here, like 18-2. He was kind of going Insano style. I don't.
No, Luis, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. I'm on the same page.
I don't know why this became such a huge issue for his team.
It is unreal that they did him dirty that bad, and I think it's even more disgusting that there are a couple things that were really disgusting with the whole situation. One, the leader of the tournament. Well, I'm going to say one, them playing the victim card. Because the things that they said were nasty. Like, there's even a clip of them going, yeah, bro, yeah, you're so right. I'm still going to play Widow.
Teammates where they hated him so much for trying to win that they started insulting him after the fact. And that's where most of the drama stems from. Them refusing to switch is one thing that feels like it's kind of trolling and just intentionally throwing the tournament for the sake of vibes, which is weird because, again, just go play quick play or something. Why even bother going into a tournament if the goal isn't to try and win it? He made it clear he wanted to sweat because this would be very important money for him in his situation with college. Now, I also heard that when the tournament was put together, there wasn't an announcement about how much money was on the line. So I think maybe there was some confusion from the team where they wanted to just play for fun and sillies and goofies. And then once $40,000 was announced, they still had that mindset. Meanwhile, Kingsman really wanted a piece of that pie because it would be helpful to him. It'd be like $3,000, which is a significant amount of money, especially for someone in college where this could be very useful. So that clashed where he really wanted to win. His team, who they didn't give too much of a fuck. They didn't think it was that big of a deal. So he, throughout like their time playing together, would be making like suggestions and saying like, hey, you know, there's going to be this in the tournament, there's going to be that, maybe we should look at this, maybe we should look at that. And I think they were just getting so annoyed that he was wanting to win so badly that they started to really resent him for it. It eventually led to like the bubbling over point where he got reported to the tournament organizer. They said a whole bunch of nasty stuff about him, and then it snowballed into what it is today, mainly because the team captain was so vocal about her disdain for this guy. She said things like, I'm pretty sure he spent all 20 years of his life inside playing video games, which is why he lacks social skills.
Bro, that's exactly who you want on your team when you're competing for $40,000. Do you want someone who has a full-time job, kids, and responsibilities in your $40,000 tournament? No. Hello?
You are also spending your time inside playing video games. You're a streamer. Why are you using that as an insult against him? I didn't really detect a lack of social skills throughout any of the footage I saw of them playing together. I guess you could make an argument that, you know, maybe his attitude could grind your gears because he was offering like a lot of advice on potential team comps, and he did multiple times mention like, hey, the Black Widow's probably not going to work here. We've got to be mindful of like dive comps, that kind of thing. Would you be willing to try like Bucky perhaps? And they would always kind of like roll their eyes at him and be like, shut the fuck up. Like there's a clip I saw where one of them was like, you've got to just drop this.
Dude, he even offered to play Mantis. He offered to play Mantis to make the Widow work. And they said, no, you need to be on Magic to carry us. Yeah. You just said it. Yeah, exactly. Kingsman suggested to play Mantis. I know. He even went out of his way to be like, all right, then if we're going to force the Widow, then let's make a team comp to support the Widow so we have a better chance of winning. Nope. They just wanted to sandbag the game.
That's enough. Stop making suggestions, basically, about, you know, switching. It's not happening. Look, which I think is a pretty hostile response to that, because this is coming from a place of him just trying to help the team win. I don't think he was being, like, necessarily overbearing with it or anything like that. No, he wasn't. He certainly wasn't really being aggressive about it.
And watching back the VOD, I personally have played in teams that were way more aggressive than that. Like, I've been in a way worse situations where people are aggressively, like, disagreeing with the coach and, you know, shit talking. You know, it's like,
he never got personal. He was never like insulting his teammates. He was never doing anything like that, from what I could tell. So I truly didn't see like a lack of social skills. I just saw someone who really wanted to win because there was a significant amount of money on the line. And if you're in a tournament, why would you not be trying to win? Team captain even made this statement saying, "I don't want to win with someone who can't take no for an answer," which is a certified.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to protect my ego, so I want to throw away $40,000.
Stinky comment for sure. That's a big time PU moment right there for the Jumbotron. I don't know where that's even coming from. His suggestions weren't heeded. Okay? He didn't start like, stop.
Imagine being asked how you will counter Venom and Spider-Man and your teammate says Widow.
Up in his feet and yelling and screaming and pissing and shitting about it either. He's just like, okay, all right, we'll do it. We'll run it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And when it didn't work, he did eventually say, like, look, told you so. Can we please make the switch? And then still got attacked for it. I didn't see any examples of him not taking no for an answer. Like, yes, he did make a suggestion multiple times. Like, would you be willing to try this? Would you be willing to maybe switch here? What about this? But that isn't not taking no for an answer. That is coming from someone who wants to win a fucking $40,000 tournament. He then continued to insult Kingsman and I guess anyone that was supporting him in her Discord saying, yo, Kingsman cocksuckers, screenshot this. Y'all think I ain't seen the toxicity in the Kingsman Discord with not spreading hate from the mods and Kingsman community? Fire emoji. This one will really get your eyebrow in the air. So she's calling out the people that were supporting Kingsman, saying they're cocksuckers and how toxic they are. Meanwhile, she has been the most openly toxic, like vocally expressing her disdain for this guy and now like his community. And let's not get it twisted. I think it's pretty obvious. Most people have probably seen a lot of like really dog shit takes from people that are using this as just like a giant insult against all women who play video games. That is absolutely happening, and that shit sucks. Those are some fucking losers you can make fun of. Absolutely. But she, from what I can tell when this message was sent, was talking about like anyone that was expressing support for Kingsman, and I'm sure there probably were some like absolute greaseballs that went through and said some terrible things, sure. But to extend that to like anyone that was supporting Kingsman, calling them cocksuckers, I think is just kind of crazy, especially considering she has by far been the most mean and nasty about this. Kingsman, from what I saw from the clips that were during this time, he tried to like actively say like, hey, don't go harass anyone and don't be mean, you know.
Dude, he started his video.
Like, he was clearly upset about it, but
he started his video saying do not harass anybody.
Like
he was really professional
to
about
try and
it.
stop people from going and doing shit like that.
Here's the thing, right? Here's how the internet works, because the internet is where people can express their opinions equally without having to show their face or any punishment, right? So people are going to say ridiculously crazy things. It's not because it's not because they're part of a community who is telling them to go attack people. It's because they feel a certain way and they're going to go attack people, right? And that's not right. I'm not endorsing that at all, but it's what's going to happen. And, they were blaming Kingsman for sending out his community. He didn't do that at all, you know? It's ridiculous.
She, on the other hand, was just openly attacking him.
Everyone thinks this guy's
That's just what happens.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that. And we're still gonna play Widow.
I need this for my college. I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
This is a clip I keep.
That is insane. Mocking him for wanting to win a tournament to pay for his college is evil.
Seeing spread around that first clip is when he is explaining like why the Widow's not going to work, and they're like, oh, great point. Go fuck yourself. We're still playing Widow. That's all we're going to do. We're here just for good vibes, good time, and I don't care if this money means something to you because it doesn't to us. That second clip, that is not CC. That is someone else named Lucy, whom has deleted this VOD, so I can't even find the full context here, but from the sound of things, she is insulting Kingsman because of him expressing the want of the $3,000 because it would be very helpful to him as a college student, so then she's like making fun of him, taking the piss, even threw in an absolutely revolting 6-7 meme reference that'll make your skin crawl about it. It's just very mean-spirited. There's also another clip of her talking about it, saying, like, even if you support Kingsman, like it's fucking Israel or something. I don't even know what she was trying to say with that one. I guess since I referenced it, I'll show you that clip, too.
I have a genuine question. Like, seriously, answer this. Even if you support Kingsman, whatever, support Kingsman, like it's fucking Israel. Anyways, whatever you have in your head, I have a genuine question.
I think everyone has a genuine question after seeing that segment there. I don't know why she would be saying something like that with this. Again, the whole VOD, from what I can tell, is no longer accessible, so I don't even know what the question she was about to ask is. But yeah, it's definitely not a good look, and she is very openly, like, making fun of Kingsman from what I can see in the clips that still exist of it. But this is not CC. This was not someone that played on Kingsman's team. I don't believe.
Yeah,
all
right,
of this
Alan,
is only the tip of the iceberg, by the way. It gets so much deeper. There was a Google Doc that was put out there from the Widow's boyfriend. The tournament organizer initially, like, doubled down, saying, nope, I maintain my position here. He deserved to be kicked from this tournament. He violated all of our rules.
Dude,
and then
that
today,
document.
He came forward very somber, like, look, I know everyone's mad at me, and they're right to be mad at me. I was wrong about everything. I looked at this misleading evidence. It was only from one side, and it was incorrect. I acted too hastily. So now he's, like, singing a very different tune about how, you know, he's had this come to Jesus moment after seeing the other side of the story with Kingsman. It's very clear that he was manipulated by incorrect information. He shouldn't have kicked him from the tournament.
When they come in here, the people, when they come in here, when they hate, they're justified in what they're saying. They're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. 100%. No question about it. Like, there's no beating around the bush. I don't know why it's, like, difficult to admit when you're wrong and you fucked up. I made a decision based off of haste and based off of misinformation, but everybody in the team knew what was going on. Everybody in the team knew what was going on.
Good for him. Dude, do you know how difficult it is to have people in your chat attacking you, to be in the middle of a Marvel Rivals game that you're losing, and to admit that you made a mistake. Good for him. that is a challenge, right? People, this is him on stream. People are harassing him in his chat. I don't know if I should say harassing. Like, but yeah, he's like, yes, you guys are justified. I should not have done that. I should not have made that decision. As he's getting murdered in Marvel Rivals, that's some dedication. That's respect to this guy, honestly. That's awesome.
The fact that nobody told me this.
97% detected AI use for the apologies.
The boyfriend
yeah,
in
100%.
This story is reaching out with an apology, saying that he went about it the wrong way and overstepped. Zaza, the widow, told him to leave him alone, but he couldn't control his impulses. The demon had to be let out of the cage. Thus, he went in and started sending clips to the tournament organizer to kick him, the Google Doc, all that kind of stuff. And then finally, CC, the team captain, the one who was by far the most openly hostile
right, thanks
to
for stopping in,
Kingsman and anyone that was showing any level of support for him, came forward with an apology as well, saying, I'm sorry, I was going off the video and forgot to explicitly call this out. Earlier today, I woke up with 1,000 noties from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman, having a panic attack, and I just started experiencing them. So in my freak out, I said Kingsman lacks social skills because he spins.
Wait, hello? Is someone here? Weird.
This time playing video games inside, I was angry and ended up lashing out at him lashing out at him instead of his community. I deeply regret it. I apologize for flinging another insult out. It shows I have terrible character, but I will be working on watching the words I say and getting help with my panic attacks. A community note even got hot dropped on here straight off the battle bus saying, even after the initial situation calmed down, CC continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash. So that apology didn't really go as smoothly as I think she was hoping it would. And interestingly enough, from what I can find, Kingsman throughout this entire thing has tried to urge people not to harass anyone that's been involved in it. You know, Zaza, her boyfriend, Cece, anyone. He's been trying to like actively calm things down to the best of his ability, but this clearly blew up well beyond anyone's wildest expectations. And Kingsman actually was able to make over $3,000, which would have been his cut of the prize money should they have won the tournament.
Which is awesome.
The last time
I was gonna say that too, is like, you know, with how all this turned out, this actually turned out way better for Kingsman than winning the Rivals tournament in the first place, because he got his $3,000 and like the amount of revenue he's gonna get from views, and he's getting tons of views now. I wonder if he's live. Let's check. Twitch, the TV. Let's do this, and then maybe we'll look up Kingsman. Is he in the front? No, not quite.
This stream are gonna.
Let's look it up. No, he's not live, but he was getting tons of views. He's partnered now, and he just hit that recently.
When you take a class, time to explode my fucking PC again.
Where am I hearing this from?
Holy shit, man!
Because I paused this. But yeah, I mean, 10,000 views.
Yes,
look at these.
Marvel Rivals, please.
This is so weird. Okay, 200,000 views, 359,000 views. This guy, he has won the community now. Like this guy's going to be able to make a career off of streaming because of that event. Not only is he going to be able to pay for college with just what he's gotten from people, you know, basically being sorry for him, but for being treated so poorly, but he's going to have a career. You know, so good for him with that. I mean, it sucks that he had to go through all of that to you know, it sucks that it had to be at the expense of other people, because you never want to succeed at the expense of other people. But they screwed him over so bad. And it's good to see the community is like, you know, it's also waking up to that kind of stuff. Like, I wonder what would have happened if this happened back in like 2020 era, 2021, where the victim card may have worked and Kingsman may have just gotten completely canceled. You know? Like, this situation would not have been the same 5 years ago. So, you know, good for Kingsman. I'm glad it's turning out well. I don't wish anything bad on those people, but I really wish that they would learn from their mistakes and just not be bullies, you know, and try to be team players. Like, we want to talk about socially, like people who aren't, you know, or people who are socially awkward, people who don't understand how to act in a social environment. Look at those girls, those streamers. They didn't want to be a team player, you know? Just for what? Vibes? I would get my character banned in the tournaments I was playing for my team, and I would still play characters that that I wasn't as good at, or sometimes I'd have to learn new characters in the tournament. But I still was able to swap and support what the team wanted or had to have, Excuse me. So it's just a whole mess. But anyway, that's the long and the short of it. That's all so, in conclusion, let's see. Nope, not what I meant to do. Game capture, display capture. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, good for Kingsman. And yeah, I just hope this, I hope instances like this wake people up. So the whole, thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. We hit 476. Where was I? Yeah, I just hope the cancel culture and the victim mentality shit just doesn't work on people anymore as much in this community. I bet you could do a mean Elon Musk cosplay. What does that mean? Okay, thank God he said that money borderline scammed out of his teammates. It's selfish. Fair enough. If they just lost, the fact that they're intentionally trying to sabotage his chances of winning was just vile behavior. Yeah, it was. What's funny is he also, NetEase themselves gave him money to spend on Magic skins, which is so funny. So, okay. I think we're out of time, honestly. I spent all my time covering that. So, yeah, unfortunately. He was a Magic player? Yeah. He was the one playing Magic. Yep. Okay. I may come on stream a little bit later. Later tonight. But I just wanted to cover some stuff. I wanted to cover mainly what I wanted to cover was the Overwatch thing. With the director's take, with them still sticking to their Challenger tier system, which sucks. We're going to have to go through another season of it before we finally realize that we all loved the old system. But whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you join the Discord. I'm really sorry for the short stream today. I thought I was going to play, but I was not. So, plans changed, which is fine. But yeah, I'm going to take a break anyway because my voice is tired from all that. But make sure you guys join the Discord. Yeah, ! Discord. I am currently taking VOD review requests. So if you guys drop a VOD review in here, I will be doing it on my stream, and then I will post it to YouTube eventually later. So if you guys are interested in getting your VOD reviewed, drop it there. ! Socials for all the other socials, for my YouTube, for all that stuff. I've been posting to YouTube, been keeping active, somewhat. And that's where I'll be talking about the major issues with the game and hopefully shaping Overwatch into a game that we all love. And hopefully reverting some changes back into the game that we knew and love. That one game of the year back in 2016. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Hopefully